Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Carey Anderson. I want to thank you so much for joining us today on the Dade County Weekly Update. Remember, you can type in your questions in the comment section of our Facebook feed during this live update. If you don't want to ask your questions during the live broadcast, you can always email us at info@dadecounty-ga.gov. We are also live streaming this to our YouTube channel, which can be found at Dade County, Georgia. Thank you so much for coming to the right place for the right information. Today, we have a couple of guests. We have Jane Dixon with the Alliance for Dade, who'll be talking to us about ribbon cuttings and new businesses, and Laura Beth Cunningham, our 4-H educator with the University of Georgia Extension office here in Dade County. We'll also be hearing from Dade County Commissioner and Vice Chair Robert Goff. I'll start with our general announcements, the first one being that we are hiring dispatchers for our 911 department as well as our jail officers. So if you know anybody interested in those positions, go ahead and tell them to check us out at dadecounty-ga.gov at our website and take a look at those jobs. We will also be taking a look at the weather. We are already watching that weather. Some of our local meteorologists are saying that it shouldn't be more than a rain event. Some other meteorologists from across the country are saying we might get some snow, but either way, we're prepared. Our road crews are ready. If it does turn into something more than rain, our EMA department is already watching. You can find our most recently updated information on our website at dadecounty-ga.gov/civic alerts, and just click on the tab that says Weather Watch. It's there on the front page, so it has that icon right in front of you that you're looking at. That's all you need to look at, and we've got the graphs there and the outlook. County offices will be closed next Monday for Martin Luther King Day, and we will reopen Tuesday with regular business hours. So closed Monday, open for the rest of the week. We do have some upcoming meetings next week as well. The Dade County Industrial Development Authority will meet Monday, the 17th, even though county offices are closed. DCIDA will meet here in the commission meeting room at 1:30. The Historic Preservation Commission will meet Wednesday, the 19th at 2 o'clock, and then the Board of Assessors will meet Thursday, the 20th at 3 o'clock, and the Dade County Board of Elections will also meet the 20th. Assessors at 5 o'clock. Dade County Board of Elections at 2 to 3 will meet here. So those are the upcoming meetings. You can find all those and more on our calendar at dadecounty-ga.gov. We have had a COVID exposure, actually a couple, in the Dade County Courts facility. So they are operating, at least two of those departments are operating on different procedures currently. Both offices are open. The Superior Court Clerk's office, the front office part is open, so the front lobby part is open to that. You can give them a call at 706-657-4778 with any questions. Probate Court was our other office that had an exposure. All trials are canceled and will be rescheduled, but that office is open. You can call them at 706-657-4414, and Omicron is going around. Lots of people are getting sick with the flu or with COVID, so it is, it's probably the time of year. But one thing that I do want to point out is there in our probate court, we do have glass walls that we put up just like in our administrative office here in the county offices. And we did that with COVID relief money early on. And part of the reason we did that was to prepare for a time like this. If you'll remember back towards the beginning of COVID, a lot of places had to shut down because they were not properly set up to properly space people out. So we are ready for that, and with those partitions, it does allow us to continue to operate and stay open. So thank you to our Board of Commissioners and our emergency management crews who got that done early so that we can continue to operate. Tonight is a origami class. It's a teen thing. It's an origami class just for teens at the Dade County Public Library at 5 o'clock. So if you have a teen who's interested in learning how to do origami, bring them to the Dade County Public Library tonight at 5 o'clock. We do have some save the dates that I want you to take note of. I'm not going to go over all of those, but they are there in front of you. As you can see, next Monday, there is a Tri-State Beekeepers monthly meeting. There is one of the save the dates on here that I really want to go over with you, and it is the CHI Memorial Mobile Health Program. The mammogram bus will be here next Tuesday. You can see that on our calendar. So all of the information that's on the screen in front of you, you can see that on our calendar. There's a little link there that you can use to make your appointment. So that will be here at the gazebo. So out in the parking lot next to the gazebo will be the mammogram bus. That's next Tuesday. So if you know someone who could benefit from that, please tell them about it. Also, the Friends of Cloudland Canyon next Monday are having a day of service trail maintenance. So that's from 9 until noon next Monday, the 17th. Remember, county offices are closed, so all of you county employees, if you want to go work on a trail, this would be your opportunity. Also, they've got a save the date out there for a star party in April. Next, we will hear from Jane Dixon with the Alliance for Dade.
Thank you, Carey. Good afternoon to all of you. Hope everyone's well. We know that's not true, so let's be cautious, okay? The first thing I'd like to share with you is, in case you don't know what the Alliance for Dade is, I'll give it to you in a nutshell. It is your Chamber of Commerce. It is an organization of individuals who are all volunteers who come together to help support our county in lots of different ways. One of the things that we do is that we highlight businesses. That's one of our primary functions. Now, how do we do that? Different ways, but today I want to share with you just one of those ways. We are trying to sponsor what we're calling the ribbon cuttings. Now, this is when we bring together the owner of the business, alliance members, government representatives from the city and the county government come together to welcome the new business owner and their new business. Well, yesterday morning we had a really nice time. A lot of Alliance people were there. The county commissioners were there. The mayor was there. Ted Rumley was there. Business owners were there. Other business owners were there. We were at the new McBride, that's like wedding bride, the new McBride bookstore. And we had a really nice time. They had decorated everything. They had food inside. And they were so excited, the owners, for someone to be there and for them to share in that experience of theirs. So the Alliance would like to thank all the commissioners, Ted Rumley and the mayor, all the Alliance folks who showed up to help make those new business owners feel good about what they're doing. Now, it is now the citizenry, us, the people in this county, it is our responsibility to help keep that business going. So one of the things I would like to share with you just in a second, a term that I heard Ms. Bradford, one of the commissioners, say. She said, we want to maybe consider to try to approach people with these three words: shop local first. And that's not bad. Try buying what you need and you want in Dade County first. If you can't find it or it's not here, you may have to go somewhere else. We were discussing this in the sense of books. So the new bookstore lady, Ginger, she is going to try to have as a wide variety of selection of literature as she can get. She would very much like for people to tell her what they need, what they want. She will be carrying the books that belong to the students' book reading list. So a lot of things happen with that. That I want to let you be aware in case you would like to come, and you are more than welcome to. We will be having another ribbon cutting this Friday. I think you all are aware of where the The nursing home used to be over on 136. You just got to go in and see. It is the neatest place now. And one of the parts of it is called the Hope House Cafe. A lady by the last name of Frost, she is doing the cafe, and I have not been able to go yet, but some people have said it is very, very good. So we will be doing a ribbon cutting with her on Friday, this coming Friday. Oh, that's tomorrow. No, not tomorrow. Yes, it is tomorrow. It is tomorrow in the morning. I keep forgetting.
Yeah.
In the morning, 10 o'clock, okay, at the Hope House Cafe. The next one we will do will be at Tuesday, January the 18th at 3 p.m. Now, this is something, of course, I know nothing about it because this is foreign to me, but it's called Druid's Lair. Now, some of you all in the audience will know what that is. I asked this the other night at the City Commission, and the young man here is nodding his head. He knows. Dexter Wooten, he knew, but none of us old fuddy-duds did we have any idea what Druid Lair is. Well, it's games. And he has tables in the building, and people come in and sit down, and they play games. There's no liquor, there's no money, there's nothing that draws people to that attraction except they like to play games. So we're going to be doing a ribbon cutting with him. He is located up right off of McKeag Road there, right up there behind the Waffle House. We'll be doing that one. Then we will have two others that we will also be announcing pretty soon. The Birdie Bistro, today was their first day that they opened. They opened for breakfast at 6 a.m. They serve lunch at 11 and serve until 2:30. So we will be having a ribbon cutting with them probably next week. And the Saks Thrift Shop, which is right now is located over near the Gross Furniture in that little corner back up in there by the barber shop. We'll be having a ribbon cutting for them. It's called the Saks Thrift Avenue. So thank you so much. We appreciate everything that everyone does in our communities to support each other. Carey, thank you for letting the Alliance always be welcome to share about Dade County.
Thank you for everything you guys do. And next we'll be hearing from Laura Beth Cunningham, who's our 4-H educator with the University of Georgia Extension office here in Dade County.
Good afternoon, everybody. I hope everyone had a wonderful holiday. I know we've been really busy at the 4-H office since we came back on the 4th. The first thing I want to talk about is DPA. I have 5 great junior, senior kids that are working on their DPA portfolios right now. We have reached the deadline to sign up for the junior senior DPA, but I do have some spots still available for cloverleafs. Now, cloverleafs are 4th through 6th graders, and the date for that competition is going to be in March at Rock Eagle. And Cloverleaf DPA is a one-day event, and it's a great opportunity for your child to learn more about public speaking, putting together a presentation, and then presenting it in front of judges and other kids their age. They will get to meet and interact with other 4-Hers from all over the state. It's a lot of fun, so if you have any interest in this, please contact the Extension office. Next, we have coming up on January 19th from 5:30 to 7 p.m. is our monthly craft night. Last month we did a pine cone bird feeder, and we had a very small participation, but it was during the holiday week, so I wasn't expecting many, but the kids that showed up had a lot of fun, and it was just a wonderful thing. And then after we got done with that, we played some games, we colored some pages, and I recommend it to anyone. If anybody would like to come to this, I would love for you to RSVP. If you don't do that, you're always still welcome. The project is geared for 3rd through 6th graders, but it's a really cute project, and all ages are welcome. The first ever 4-H movie night is going to be January 28th from 6 to 8:30 p.m. at the Ag Center. Everyone is welcome to come to this event, and it is a free event. The concession stand will be open and serving popcorn for $1 and Kool-Aid pouches for 50 cents. Please bring your camp chairs, your blankets, your pillows, whatever you need to make yourself comfortable. If you go to the 4-H Facebook page, you can vote on the 3 different movies that we're offering for this month. The January options are Home Sweet Home Alone, Jungle Cruise, and Encanto. So far, Encanto is in the lead, so if you want to see one of the other options, please vote. So like I said, this is a free event, but if you would like to make a donation in our donation jar, that money is going to go to our junior and senior DPA members. They're going to be going to a weekend trip at Rocky Eagle for competitions. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we'll hear from Dade County Commissioner and Vice Chair Robert Goff, who will give us our county update and our COVID update.
Thank you, Carey. Thank you for tuning in today. I know Commissioner Rumley, Chairman Rumley, usually gives this. I will give you an update on him. I said this morning on the TV, he had a procedure done today, which had nothing to do with COVID or anything like that. It's just a procedure. He said it was okay to share. You'll see it when he comes back probably tomorrow. He'll have a Band-Aid on his nose. So he did have a little spot on his nose they were checking out, and so we'll see how that turns out, but he should be back tomorrow. I talked to him earlier today. They were on their way home just a little while ago because this was done earlier in the morning. So keep him in your thoughts, though. You know, anytime you have anything like that done, you go through a little woozy spell when it's over. So keep Ted and Diane in your prayers. Also, a lot of what I talked about this morning on TV, Carey's already covered as far as the offices that are affected by COVID here. As she said, we do have COVID exposure in 2 of our offices, in the probate court and the Superior Court clerk. She gave you those numbers. And of course, they're listed, and you can find almost anything on the county website that we're going to talk about, any of the phone numbers here. So if you miss them, then be sure to just go on the county website, and Carey does a very good job of keeping that updated. Talked to Billy this morning. Of course, you've been watching the weather. I guess some people get a little more into it than others, but there was a storm brewing. I first started hearing about this yesterday. The big storms were brewing off the coast of California and the Pacific Ocean and northern part of California and on up toward Washington up that way, but they were turning into the United States in that area, and then they would be hit by the cold weather out of Canada, and that way would push them on down to the mid part of our country and out through the plain states. They would go on down, and of course this is, you know, I'm not a weather prognosticator, but if you watch it, they'll go on down and they'll hit the warm weather of the Caribbean, not the Caribbean, but the Gulf of Mexico, and that would bounce them back up into our area, and the temperatures would be falling. We do hope we miss it, but it looks like from looking at the weather maps that somebody above us, it may be as far as Kentucky, is going to get some really pretty bad weather, but all the way through Sunday, the temperatures will start dropping, and we are in for maybe a mixture, mostly rain here, as Patrick has said, but maybe a mixture of some freezing rain or that kind of thing at some time. That being said, talked with Billy this morning. They had all the plows on our vehicles. They had salt ready to go out should they be called out to have to clear any roads, because if it happens on Sunday and late Sunday night, obviously there'll be people that would be trying to get to work. We do ask you to be safe either way. If it doesn't come a snow, there may be places we're standing in water. It may have got cold enough for it to freeze, and so please be aware of what we call the black ice, because you're on it and sometimes off of it before you ever know it was there. So they're hard at work preparing for it, because they're off tomorrow because of the 4-day week that they worked for the longest time, but they will be prepared even if it should come in earlier. We'll take care of that. Billy's crew, a small crew, but they do a lot of work right now. They're in winter mode because of this. They're doing things like this. I think they've been out with the bush axe, maybe clearing some right of way and all that. And I know this time of the year that usually makes a lot of people, when you look at, say they sure did make our trees ugly. The reason they do it this time of year is twofold. First of all, there's no leaves on the trees. They can see better what they're doing. Secondly, and more importantly, to the people who drive those roads, when the springtime rolls around and trees begin to bud out and leaf out, you won't even know it's done, but it's keeping the limbs from over the right of way and kind of things they do. So that's the reason why it's done this time of year. So it is, it is done, and it's over with as the spring comes, and it'll be here before we know it. As I mentioned this morning, the General Assembly has convened in Atlanta. That will go on for 40 days, and that, as I said, is not 40 consecutive days. They had Monday was their first day. They were off Tuesday, Wednesday, and I don't know about, so they'll be on and off and doing all their committee work, and then they'll take a recess during that time just for the budget, because that's the one thing that they're settled with having to do is passing a balanced budget for the state of Georgia. So that's all in the works. But if you want to keep up with what they're doing, all you have to do is go to the legislative website. I know we'll be able to put some stuff on ours, but you can see every bill that is introduced and where it stands. You can read about what the bill may affect you, as I said this morning, if you're a farmer, and it's some of the farm bills. Or I know one of the big ones probably that was last year was the voting bill. It's got Georgia in the crosshairs of the country right now with the elections fixing to really vamp up for our state officials and some of our federal officials. It's really got all eyes are on Georgia right now. You know, yesterday the president was in Atlanta pushing this, but I think we have some very good election laws, and I think everything went smooth during our last election with the city. That gave a good opportunity for our election people to see how things are working. So just be careful of what you hear and careful about what you believe, because Georgia's doing a great job on their elections. I don't care which party you're affiliated with, they have. But that was last year's thing, and it has drawn a lot of attention from all over the country, people trying to tell us folks here in Georgia how we ought to live and move about and do our business. But I, for one, think we know more about what we need to do than anybody else in the country. That's just my political rant, I guess, if you want to take it as that. But they have convened, and it gives you an opportunity to keep up with them. You can also go to the ACCG, that's the Association of County Commissioners of Georgia, and they keep up with these things, and they do a little, not a better job of it, but you will be able to find bills and that they're supporting on behalf of the counties in Georgia, not just Dade County, but the other 158 counties beside us, the ones that they support, but they always want to have our input into it or your input into it. It's what you think about. Again, if you're a business owner, the laws that may affect you and your business owner, what they may change, they want to hear from you. We'll get into our numbers in just a moment of the COVID. But first of all, the health department down below us here are offering both Pfizer and Moderna vaccines still. If you have not been vaccinated and you want to be, that is obviously your choice, but you can call 706-657-4213 to make an appointment. And they are doing the booster shots if you want to do that. I can tell you personally, I was vaccinated for my own reasons, but I think it's a choice anybody should make. I did get the booster because the same reason. I have, my wife and I booked a cruise, for instance. If you're going to do anything like that, sometimes you're going to board a plane and take a vacation, or you're going to take a cruise, they are requiring vaccinations for a lot of these things. So it's not, I did it, first of all, personally, because I do, as many of you out there watching know, I do short-time mission trips overseas, and was just gearing up ready for that when some of this thing begins to die down and we're able to go back. But you can't go, you can't get on a plane, you can't get off in their country without having them. So it is your choice, but there are places to get them, and you can get them right here in our health department down below. But please make an appointment before you go. The Pfizer booster vaccines are also being administered. So the boosters are Moderna or Pfizer, and both of them are there if you want to get them. There are a lot of testing locations, again, if you're going to be doing any travel, and I can use the personal experience of this cruise. It's not until March, so we obviously don't do it yet, but before we can get on that cruise, my wife and I, and anyone else going, has to have within the last 2 days or 3 days, since it's a Saturday leaving cruise. We could get it as early as Thursday, but you have to have a negative test a negative test would mean too that if I get one here closer, I don't go all the way to Florida, to Port Canaveral, Florida, to get on the ship and them tell me, sorry, sir, you can't get on because you're positive with COVID. So you've got to have them to move about our country in a lot of ways. And I know that really bothers a lot of people. It bothers me. But that is the day that we're living in, and cruising industry trying to get back on its feet, so they're doing everything they can. The CDC had a lot of control over them. As of Friday, the 15th of this month, the CDC will no longer have the control over the cruise ships that they had, from what I am reading and listening to online with the Carnival Cruise, Royal Caribbean and all them. But on the 15th of this month, they will become an advisory board only to the cruise. So it will give the cruise ships owners, company owners, a little better control over what they do, rather than being told by the CDC or anyone else. But the testing locations that are closest to us are our primary health care here in Trenton. You need to call and make an appointment with a physician at 706-657-7575. Also, we have Lawson Medical, which is right over here by the post office, that you can get them there, and that's 706-657-3200. That is straight pay. Price Pharmacy, you need to call 706-657-4061, and that is rapid test, straight pay of $90. The AFC in Lookout Valley at 423-822-5942, or the CVS Pharmacy here in Trenton at 706-657-8011. There is free testing at the Colonnade in Catoosa County or Ringo. That's on Highway 2 between the Walmart and the Interstate 75. If you're going in that direction, it would be on the left-hand side of the road. The big sign says Colonnade, and they offer that free testing at the Colonnade every Monday and Wednesday from 9 o'clock until 6 o'clock. They were very good to help us back in the earlier part of this, when there were so many people wanting to be tested, needing to be tested. And it seems that testing is up now. Many people are being tested, and that makes our numbers rise. We're going to go into them. It's a pretty lengthy list, and every one of them are growing. I will say, before I get to the Tennessee numbers, I wish Georgia did a better job, because Tennessee gives active cases with their counties. We don't show active cases. We only show how many we've had from the onset of this whole thing, and that goes back to almost 2 years now. So the numbers we read when we're in a county of 16,000 people, and I know that people know that, but it is just it's so aggravating to know, well, how many in the county right now? How many active cases do we have for our 16,000 people in our school system or whatever? And they do a pretty good job of keeping up with it there. But anyway, we have, going all the way back to day one, we have had 2,086 cases. I think that is the latest this morning. You can see this every day in the Chattanooga paper if you receive it. These numbers are always under how they increase. In the last 2 weeks, we have had 129 new cases. And keep in mind, they don't tell you whether this is the old 19 or the Delta variant or the Omicron, but the Omicron is not as serious. They've told us that from the CDC, from Dr. Fauci, from the powers that be. It's not as serious as any of them have been, and even some now. I read an article from, of all people, Bill Gates, who has been very outspoken on this, and it is something that they've kind of led up to over the period of 2 years. That as more people get it and it mutates and it is maybe weaker, it is going to help drive the whole thing down. And we hope that is the case. And that's what Bill Gates had yesterday to say, that this will, and other than being a multi-billionaire, I don't know what he knows about medicine, but anyway, that's coming from other people besides him, that will help the overall numbers, because more people it is very more contagious now with this Omicron variant, but it's not as severe. Talking here earlier before we went live today to those who were in here, Dr. Fauci, whether you trust him or don't trust him, that's your prerogative, but he even made the statement that we need to begin to focus on not just on numbers, but on the severity of cases that we have, because for all these numbers there's not that many people have gone to the hospital or that many people have returned to the doctor for a second visit. So keep that in mind, that we try to go about and do our business as well as we can. Be safe, do whatever you feel like you need to do. If that's wear a mask, be vaccinated, be boosted, quarantine yourself or whatever. Obviously, if you test positive, you need to. That's another thing on the quarantine of this variant we're in now. I don't think it's the 14 days or the 10 days, it's down to 5. So a lot of things are changing and looking good or a little better than they were. So just keep those things in mind as you hear all the numbers that you hear. We have had 20 deaths. That did go up 1 this week. I don't know when that person passed. It could have been a month ago or more before they finally hit these numbers. We have had 83 hospitalizations. In Walker County, their numbers are much bigger. They've had 10,974. Remember, that is all the way through it. But they've had 681 in the last 2 weeks that have tested positive. Catoosa County, our neighbor, 9,865. They have had 895 new cases in the last 2 weeks. Chattooga County, 4,253 with 401 cases in the last 2 weeks. Whitfield County, again, getting larger and larger in numbers, or some of these have had 22,403 with 2,371 in the last 2 weeks. So you see the correlation between the number of people and the number of tests, positive tests, and so on. Gordon County, 9,969. They've had 872 in the last 2 weeks. Floyd County, 19,095. They've had 2,588 in the last 2 weeks. We have 7,557 unknown to which county they belong to, but were tested, if I understand it, tested in Georgia, but they cannot apply them back to a particular county. Maybe they were traveling or whatever. And then we have 26,657 deaths in our counties, 98,215 hospitalizations. But again, keep in mind that goes back almost 2 years, not now. It's not going on now. Since yesterday in the state of Georgia, we've had 13,307 confirmed cases with 36 deaths and 156 hospitalizations. Yes, that's a lot. That's too many. But you got to keep in mind that's over the state of Georgia of 10 million plus people in the state. Tennessee again has has had 1,540,515 confirmed cases since this thing began. They have 13,503 new cases in the state of Tennessee. And then we go to the counties. Hamilton County, our closest neighbor, which we adjoin, is 76,393. They have 7,565 cases that are active now. And again, I wish in Georgia we did that, because I think that's a lot of people, yes, but when you look at the number of people in Hamilton County, or even the number that have tested positive throughout this almost 24-month period, it brings it more into perspective of how fewer people it is than what sometimes we may think. Marion County has had 6,487, 417 active cases. They've had 110 deaths in Marion County. Grundy County, a lot of those folks, I was out there for about 12 years running a route. A lot of those people I know, and they're dear to my heart. They have 3,142 cases, 119 active cases in Grundy County, and they have had 64 to lose their lives to COVID. Sequatchie County, 3,359 cases with 177 active, and they have lost 60 over the 2-year period. Meigs County, just up the road around Athens and that area, is 2,492 cases with 149 active, and they've had 47 deaths. Bradley County, 25,292 cases. They have now 1,820 active cases and have lost 323 people. Hospitalized, 2,415 Since yesterday, 101 have been hospitalized. Total deaths in Tennessee is 20,952, and that's 31 since yesterday. Again, a lot of deaths, but look at total numbers and not the just the number, picking one number out. Alabama, 1,4,622 confirmed cases. We have no update on the counties numbers, but Jackson County has 106 cases in the last 7 days. DeKalb County, 218 cases in the last 7 days. The global cases, as reported by Johns Hopkins COVID Resource Center, confirmed cases in the world globally, 317,589,381, with 5,516,175 deaths. In the United States, of those 317 million, 63,262,416 deaths in the United States, or cases in the United States. The deaths are 844,742. U.S. 28 days, new cases in last month, 12,809,099 with 40,417 deaths across the country in the United States. Global total recovered is 91,835,850, and they stopped reporting on May the 6th of 2021. So when we look at the numbers, they're staggering numbers. We put them in perspective, and they look a little better. I just, again, cannot say enough that you take care of yourself. You do what you feel like you need to do. I have in my pocket right now a mask. I carry it there. It may not be the best place for it, but if I go to a place that says mask required, I don't have a problem putting the mask on and walking in. I have a problem with mask mandates for the general public and what have you. I'm not going to make any bones about that. But I don't have a problem if they feel like that's going to keep somebody safe. We were in Chattanooga over the weekend, went to restaurants, went to a motel, did all that, shoulder to shoulder with a lot of people. Nobody hardly had a mask on. Got on one of the little shuttles downtown, and they wouldn't let you on until they had a mask. They gave you a mask to put on. I thought, well, that really don't make a lot of sense, but that's their rule, and I put their mask on. I didn't say, well, I'll just walk. So I don't have a problem with that. What I'm saying is do what you need to do to keep yourself, your family, especially if you have elderly parents, someone with an immune deficiency, whether that's because of some type of treatments they're taking or something that's wrong with them. Sure, we want to take as good a care as them as we can, and we hope that you do, because we're in a new year. We hope 2022 will be better certainly than 2020 and 2021. So far, things are looking up. We talked this morning on a television program, Go Dogs. We won a national championship. The difference in that national championship this year and last year, 1 year apart, was the stadium was packed out with people. That's how things have evolved and where they are today. Might they get worse? We don't know. We just know from day to day. So take care of yourself. Do whatever you feel like. And the fact that I wear a mask when I'm asked to, I'm not going to criticize anyone else if they feel they need to wear one all the time, because that's their choice. And that, to me, that's the way it should be. As a commissioner, as a citizen, that's my stance, and that's where it should be, that I have a choice for me, for my family, my home. But if it is somewhere where I feel the need that I can put on a mask to help someone else, don't have a problem with that either, because there's one thing about it. We're all Americans. We're all in this thing together. We've rode it out for almost 2 years, and we will ride it out to the end, and America will be stronger in the end, as strong in the end, if not stronger than they were in the beginning. So that's really all I have today. Has there been any questions or anything?
No questions today.
Well, maybe I didn't make everybody mad. I don't know. I'll give you my views. But anyway, we hope, and by the way, Happy New Year. We're just 13 days into it, but it's still a brand new year. Just keep these things in mind. And again, if you've got any questions about any of the numbers or places that are on our website, You can get them at the click of a button. Carey does a great job of keeping that thing updated. So we will see you if it comes snow. If you're going to get out and frolic in it, have fun, stay safe. If you don't like it, hang around. The sun will be back in a couple of months. Thank you. Have a great day.